I'm sure you're aware of the latest Trump controversy. This one's big. This one is big. The report says that in a private meeting in the Oval Office, Trump was meeting with his BFFs, the Russians, and called the FBI director that he just fired a nut job. Yep, that's what they say, and Spicer did not deny it. It appears that it's actual fact. And so now the only question is, do we need a special counsel? I'll tell you this, the press went ballistic. I mean, for days, this was the lead story. We had panels on every network that were seriously discussing this nut job claim. To me, by the way, let me just put a parenthesis in here. I actually have a video that I've not put up yet, and this is the question. Why would children make the best politicians? It's a humorous take on the fact that politicians act like kids most of the time. You know what? I forgot the whole name-calling playground communication thing that kids do all the time. Put yourself back in elementary school. Here is a beautiful example of how playground communications happens. Point one, you've got a kid that calls another kid a name. In this case, Trump calling Comey a nut job. Then point two, you have an insider who tattletales, goes to the teacher and reports the crime, and the teacher always makes way too big a deal out of it. And then point three in playground communication is you have the victim kid that comes back with a smoking hot response. It always starts with, oh yeah, well, in this case it wasn't Comey himself. This is true. This is true stuff. His father was asked by a reporter what he thought about Trump calling his son a nut job. And his response, well, he's nuts. I kid you not. I'm serious. I mean, this stuff makes me want to curl up in the corner and suck my thumb. But then I have to wake up and realize, wait a second. We're not dealing with the real world here. I live in the real world where that stuff is crap. No, in the swamp, remember the swamp that hasn't been drained? In the swamp, which is the politicians, is the press, the Washington establishment, just all that crap. In the swamp, they live by different rules. And this gives us another lesson of the swamp. Please don't miss this. Here's the lesson. In the swamp, words are 10,000 times more important than actions. You see, in the swamp, if you're a politician, you can get elected again and again and again and again and again just by saying the right words, making all the right promises. You're going to protect us, whatever. But in the end, you have to do nothing. And we will continue to vote your butt in every single time. It's incredible. Well, see, Trump doesn't come from that world. He actually comes from a really brutal world of commercial real estate, high finance, big business, construction, serious stuff. And let me tell you right now, he is not a billionaire because he said the right words, or he sounded cool, or presidential. He had to do the right stuff, perform the right activities, or he would have been dead broke. He needs to learn that he's now operating out of the swamp, which is kind of cool because he doesn't have to accomplish anything, but he does have to say the right stuff. So the lesson of the swamp, words, much more important than actions. Now, if they do want to do a special counsel for this terrible crime, I know the perfect person to head it up. Jimmy Carter. I mean, number one, he fits the typical swamp independent counselor, a really old white guy. And then number two, who's more qualified? He was raised on a peanut farm in Georgia. Who better to understand the ins and outs of a nut job? And lastly, to the press, I say this, with all sincerity and out of pure love. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but names will never hurt you. I promise.